Let's say you want to make a 3D version of a 2D logo. So you have a flat logo and you want to make it 3D. Well, you can do that using Spline tool. I'm going to show you how to take a 2D SVG icon that I downloaded and turn it into something a little bit more interesting using Spline. Okay, so you're going to go to spline.design. It's free, super easy. Set up an account if you haven't already. Log in if you have. Then click Create in the top right. Click 3D Design, and you're going to be hit with this. Ignore all this, so just click on the background, delete this square, and you've got this. Okay? Kind of a scary panel if you've never come to Spline before. You're like, whoa, what are all these buttons? Don't worry. Click on the background and then click background color. And we're just going to change that straight away. So much nicer, right? Import is down here. So if you haven't already, type in whatever logo you're looking to download, or maybe you're looking to export a logo from Figma. So you can either click on your logo in Figma and go down to export, or you can find one on the interwebula. So what I've done is I've just got a TikTok logo, as you can probably tell from the start of this video, and I'm going to click open. Oh no, it doesn't appear. So something important to say is that when you import stuff from the internet, you never really know what the files are going to be like. So you might just have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery. What I've found is that if you delete, you see this isn't working. When I turn it up to 100, some reason it doesn't work. What I can do is I can add the color again in here. And then with this shape, I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to add the color again. Okay, now the logo looks fine, but it's 2D. Boo. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of that. Whoop. I'm going to click completely the wrong button. And then I'm going to paste that. I'm going to highlight it, copy it, and then I'm going to paste another version here, just so we can see them side by side, okay? So you can see we've got TikTok icon 2, and we've got, this is the actual icon itself. I always find it's helpful to name the layers, just so we know what we're editing and what we're doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this icon first. And when you click on the icon, you'll see that it's got all these vector points. You can drag the vector points. Wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can. And you'll also see that you've got all of this stuff in here. Now, extrusion is probably the best one for this. What you can do is you can add whatever number you want in here, and you can see that you've now got a 3D shape. So I've made this one 50. What I'm going to do is make this background cube 45, so that we've got a little bit of the actual icon sticking out this cube. I'm also going to give the cube some corners, just so it looks like an app icon. I think that looks a little bit nicer. And then what we can do is we can start playing around with the materials. So you can see the materials down here. If you click this little plus button, you will be able to change the colors. But you'll also be able to click another arrow, which is just here, and see all of these different options. My favorite by far is matte cap. With matte cap, you can have nice, fun, shiny effects. Now, something to note is when you click matte cap again, you've got all of these other options, which are really fun to play with. Let's click the top right one. And you're like, yeah, Jack, I actually can't really see it. It's when it's full frontal, it's just not present. what we can do is click this, and if you go down to multiply, then I think this just looks super sexy. I know that it's not actually very helpful because you can't really see the logo full on. So we might need to add a couple of other bits and bobs. Maybe what we could do is add an outline. Change the outline color to white. And I might just change that to... no, not overlay. It's just a little bit bright for me. Ooh, that's a bit subtle, a little bit sexy. I like it. That's nice. Cool. Okay, I like that. I'm going to now click the cube, and I'm going to add a matte cap, a little bit more subtle, this matte cap though. Maybe if I go for something like that. And make sure to click these little overlapping circles and then go to overlay so that the color of the black still comes through. Still subtle. What I might do is give the cube, if I turn on the light, that might be better. If I add a little bit of depth, then I think this thing might pop a bit more. So again, go from normal to overlay. That's looking tasty now. Okay. And now we've got something that looks a lot better. We can add other subtle things that might improve this. If I click on the plus icon again, go down to noise, and then if I make this 1, 1, 1 on these different axes, let's make this black. I'm going to leave the rest. And then if I go to overlay, see how we've got quite like a subtle effect on the material. I might just turn that down to 10. Now you might say, Jack, that doesn't really add that much. I think it gives it a little bit more texture, a little bit more vavavoom. Cool. I know I've completely changed the logo, but I'm just imagining, here's what I'm imagining. If you were to scroll down a web page, let's say we were like here, and you couldn't really see what's going on, but then you scroll down the page. I don't know. Something like that could be really nice. But yeah, you get the idea. Here's how you make a 2D logo into a 3D object. Hope it's been helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Cheers. Bye.